and welcome to today's video. We haven't seen each other in such a long time, so I thought I'd just start with a very interesting topic. Today's video is going to be my controversial guinea pig opinions. So I hope you don't dislike me after the end of this video. But I have a couple of opinions that I feel like are kind of controversial in the guinea pig community, and I thought I'd share them today. Number one, and that one is kind of country specific. We don't feed any pellets, and I don't think you desperately need to feed your guinea pigs any pellets. I feel like that is like opinion that is very not controversial in the country that I live in, which is right in the middle of Europe in Germany. But I feel like especially when I look at the North American continent, so especially at the US, it seems to be kind of controversial to say that. Here a lot of vets will recommend a non-pellet diet, but I feel like it's not really a thing across the pond. So the recommendation here is to only feed pellets if you're breeding your guinea pig. So if a guinea pig is pregnant or nursing another guinea pig, or if it's winter and your guinea pigs are all living outside. Basically, the thought behind that is that pellets just give guinea pigs a ton of energy, and if they're doing something that requires a ton of energy, then they need that energy. So for example, if they're outside in the cold, or if they're currently nursing or are pregnant. But guinea pigs that live indoors, like my group of guinea pigs, that don't really do anything all day except for lie in hammocks and sometimes beat to their water bottle like Lulu just did, or relax in their car wash Heidi. You usually say that these guinea pigs don't really need that type of extra energy, so if you give them, hey, 24/7 and provide a great variety of veggies, then that's enough. And that gives them all of the calories and all of the nutrients that they need. Who's trying to climb out of the cage behind me? Someone just pushed the gate against me. Was that you, Lumi? Or was it Zelda? Do you want me to move to the side? Stealing your spotlight? Someone just nudged me. Was it you, Lumi? Lumi is the master of just pushing out this door and then pushing out the plexiglass and then just leaving the cage and doing her own thing in this room. And obviously I'm not saying that feeding pellets is like bad or anything. I'm just saying that this sometimes seems to be a little bit controversial when I look at other countries where people are really surprised when I say that I don't feed my guinea pigs any pellets. I just feel like it's very controversial depending on the country that you're living in. Number two, it can be not worth it to keep guinea pigs. That is a really sad, controversial opinion, but after having kept guinea pigs for over 10, 12 years and being there for them through sickness and health, basically, and trying to nurse them back to health, failing in a lot of instances, I think for a lot of people, it definitely can be not worth it to keep guinea pigs, to even get guinea pigs. It can be very, very mentally taxing to take care of guinea pigs. If you have a great group and they're all in great health, then everything's awesome and everything is just great. But if you have a larger group of guinea pigs and suddenly like one or two get sick at the same time, you're just really in crisis mode, and it's really almost as much work as it is to have a human newborn baby. And I'll be honest, just as me as a single person, I would not have been able to take care of the guinea pigs the way we were able to take care of them without, for example, the help of my husband. So if you have a great support network, that's great, but it's very hard as just you taking care of a bunch of sick guinea pigs, and you seriously reach your limits if all of them have like life-threatening illnesses and you're just really fighting on all ends. So obviously I've made the decision to still keep guinea pigs, and obviously I'm happy with that decision, but I 100% think that it's totally fair and fine to say that you've reached your limit and that's it. And I know people who have done that. I even know a vet who kept guinea pigs for a really long time, and after just having one medical crisis per year has decided to not keep any more guinea pigs, even though obviously if you're a vet, you just have all of the knowledge at your disposal and you can talk to other vets that you know and everything, but still that person made the decision. That's it for me, I can't do it anymore, and I feel like that's a totally fair point. But it's something that's obviously not really talked about in a really lighthearted way. Like usually the videos I make are really lighthearted, and I feel like it can be really controversial to just come out with saying yeah, actually it cannot be worth it to keep guinea pigs. Okay, let's talk about syringe feeding. If you've ever seen a sick guinea pig, you know that syringe feeding is really important for guinea pigs because guinea pigs have a digestive system where if they don't eat something, it just completely breaks down. So once your guinea pig stops eating, you have to help them with food. And usually if they're not eating off a spoon or not eating voluntarily, that involves like feeding them with a syringe. You use critical care that you just mix with a little bit of water. It becomes really liquidy, and then you put it in a syringe and put it in a guinea pig's mouth. There are a lot of cases where this is the gold standard of taking care of a guinea pig. For example, after a surgery, when they're still kind of not properly waking up, or if they've had teeth surgery, for example, and it just takes 1 or 2 days for the weird feeling in their mouth to go away, and then you do the syringe feeding with them. And obviously you have a clear path of stopping that at one point. Where the controversial opinion comes in is there are basically 2 schools of thoughts in the guinea pig community. One is that syringe feeding for a longer period of time can be really necessary. And the other is that syringe feeding for a really long period of time is not good for anyone involved. And I feel like both thoughts have their merit and both are true at the same time. My experience has been that if you are syringe feeding a guinea pig for a really, really prolonged time, you have a very, very slim chance of this whole scenario ever working out and ever becoming better. I feel like there's this point with your guinea pigs where they get this syringe feeding phase, is what we call it at home. It's when their entire chin and their entire face is just full of this liquidy pellet stuff because they're not happy with you syringe feeding them. They're still at the point where they do swallow the food, but light just goes out of their eyes and it just looks like they're not there anymore. And that is the point where I'm kind of like, I get the people who say that syringe feeding at one point really is not good for anyone involved anymore. Pretty much impossible to know that beforehand, because obviously you want to save your guinea pigs. Like if there's any chance they're sick, you can save them. Obviously you're gonna do it, but there comes this one point where it's sometimes best to let go. And I feel like that is like syringe feeding can very easily go past the point of where it's beneficial for the guinea pig. Like prolonged syringe feeding, and I really don't mean that in like any way of saying you shouldn't syringe feed your guinea pigs. Like if they're going through surgery, if they have an illness, please syringe feed them while the medication is working on them. If they're in pain and you know at one point the pain is going to stop, for example in the case of a bladder infection or if there's bloat involved, syringe feed them until the medication has done their job and your guinea pig and the pain medication has done their job and your guinea pig feels better. Because that is a scenario where you have a really high chance of syringe feeding being the best course of action, a really high chance of it all working out. But there are these cases where things just, for whatever reason, sometimes you just don't know the reason, they just don't seem to get better. I would always choose to syringe feed my guinea pigs, but like 10 years into keeping guinea pigs, I understand where both of these thoughts come from, and I think they are both true at the same time. I feel like it's so easy to think you have to do everything perfectly for your guinea pigs, and one part of that is that obviously a lot of people, me included, will say adopt, don't shop. So go to a rescue. There are so many guinea pigs waiting for a new home. Go to a rescue, get a guinea pig from a rescue. I feel like if you've rescued a couple of guinea pigs and there's just this one color or one breed of guinea pig that you've always dreamed about, you've always wanted to have, even though of course if you go to a breeder, you're paying them, so you're continuing that cycle of people producing more and more guinea pigs. People breed guinea pigs for profit and then they end up at pet shops, or a ton of them end up in the rescue. If you usually rescue guinea pigs and if you've really dreamt about that one color or breed, I don't think it's that bad to just go to a breeder and get that one specific color or breed. I was really lucky when I fell in love with gray guinea pigs that I got lucky twice at the rescue and got Sylvester and Willoughby, who were both gray guinea pigs, and they just suddenly popped up and they had them. But honestly, I think after rescuing a couple of guinea pigs, if I still hadn't found a great guinea pig, I would have probably thought about maybe getting one from a breeder. Yeah, it's better to adopt a guinea pig from rescue, but still, for this one guinea pig, out of my 10 guinea pigs, I went to a breeder. I don't necessarily think these two statements cancel each other out. Okay, these were a couple of my controversial opinions. Let me know in the comments what your controversial opinions are. I hope everyone's still happy with the videos I make, but I thought this would be an interesting topic. The disclaimer, this is my personal opinion. None of that can be taken for medical advice or anything. This is just really what I've come to learn in a ton of years keeping a ton of guinea pigs. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you guys next time. Bye!